Hi students, in the previous video I was explaining about the projection of laminas, that is introduction part. So now we are going to see about the problems. So let me consider a simple problem. So an equilateral triangular lamina of 25 mm side lies with one of its edges on HP such that the surface of the lamina is inclined to HP at 60 degrees. The edge on which it rests is inclined to VP at 60 degrees. Draw the projection. So in the previous video, I explained that you have to see the problem in a stage by stage. So, we are going to consider three stages over here. So, one will be the initial or a simple position, second position, and the third position. The simple or initial position is based on the end condition. So, in this case, the end condition they given that equilateral triangle lamina has to rest on HP with one of its edges. Since it is resting on HP in the final condition, I am going to assume that it is parallel to HP in the initial position and the edge should be on the left hand side because it's resting on an edge. So this is the initial position I'm going to take off. Now when I want to assume that the plane is in parallel to HP, I have to start my projection from the top view. So I want to start my projection from the top view. So let me take the XY line. So I want to specify X and Y line. Then I want to specify that as VP and HP plane. So now, once I specify pH plane, it defines that which angle projection you are doing. That is the first angle projection. So now I have to start my initial position from the top view. So I am going to keep the edge on the left hand side. So edge they given as 25 mm. I want to go for arc by center point. So I want to take the arc. So 25. I want to draw the arc over here. Similarly, I am going to take this point 25. So radius I am going to take as again 25. I want to draw the arc. So once you drawn that, go for trim option, trim off the lines, and I want to zoom that area. So now I want to join the points. So now I have taken the edge on the left hand side because that will be the initial condition for the given problem. So I want to take that since it is resting on one of its edges on HP. So I want to specify this one A and this point as B and this point as C. Always you have to do the naming in a cyclic order, either it may be clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. Always you prefer to do the naming in the cyclic order. So once you've done this, so this is the view in an initial position. So I want to make the thickness as 0.5 mm. Now this has to be projected onto the XY line. Since we are going to assume that it is resting on HP, so complete lamina I want to keep on a HP plane. So I want to draw the lines. So B will be projected onto XY line and I want to project A and C onto the XY line. So when I want to observe from the front from here, AB will be visible and C will be invisible. So from when I want to observe from here, this point will be completely visible. So that point I want to specify as B dash, and I want to observe from here I can see A dash, whereas C dash will be behind, that will be invisible. So now I want to join the points, so A dash to B dash, and I want to make that as thick line because that is the front view of the initial position. So once you got this, so this is the simple position where I have taken the position based on the end condition. So I want to do the dimensions also. So they given 25 mm the base that I have shown and the front view is over. The next thing what you have to do is you have to see the question. So what is the question they given? The surface of the lamina is inclined to HP at 60. So whenever I want to assume that it is parallel to HP and started the projection from the top view, the second position always will be with respect to HP. So that you have to remember. So I want to take the HP angle, it is 60 degree. So I'm going to go for 60 degree over there. So you can take any space over there. I want to take the roughly any space. I want to go for a length and angle I want to change for 60 degree. So I am going to draw a 60 degree line. So normally what you can do is you can measure the distance from here to here. So that you can cut over here. Means by taking the arc I can cut over here. Or what you can do is I can directly go for taking this as a copy and instead of drawing the angle line I can take this one, go for move option with a copy over there. I am going to select this point and I want to place on the XY line. So I just copied the initial position front view into the next position. Now I'll go for rotate. I'll go for rotate option. Again, there will be a copy option will be there. So I want to select this point as a fixed one and I'll go for position angle as 60 degrees. So it will be 60 degrees now. So that is how we're going to do. I will repeat again. So once you have selected this one, I'll go for move option. Select this one, select this first point and this second point. It has to be rotated for the angle of 60. So it will be rotated. So now I don't want a copy. So remove that. Go for select and remove this. So now once you've done that, so I want to define again the points. So this point will be B dash and this point will be A dash in bracket C dash. The same first position front view I want to go for the next position. Now I want to show the angle. So how much I have taken. So it will be 60 degrees. So once you got the second position front view, I have to get the top view. So I want to project this point downwards. So this is line having B dash and this line is having A and C. To get the second position top view, I have to project from the first position. So I want to take point A. So A is in the first line, I want to project till A, and B is in the second line, I want to project for B, and C is in the first line, I want to project for C. So once you got this one, I want to join from A to B, B to C, and C to A again. So that gives me the second position top view that I want to make thickness as 0.5 mm, and I want to name that again A, B and C. Now this is the second position you got. So third position, what is this side? So one of its, that is the edge on which it rests, is inclined to VP at 60 degrees. So on which it is resting is this one, that is AC. It is resting on AC point. So this line, AC line, has to be inclined for a 60 degree with respect to VP. So here in the sketchbook, we have to recreate this one on an angle line. So what I can do is I can go for the inclination on either side. So I'll go for inclination on this side now. So I want to rotate that. So I'll go for angle of minus 60 degree. So I want to take the angle line. So this is the angle I have taken. Okay, so minus 60 degree I have taken now. So this has to be rotated for 60 degrees. So what I can do is I can select this three lines and I want to make that as a group. So once you made that as a group, so I want to get, just a minute. So I want to go for a group. I want to go do the grouping. So once it is grouping has been done, so it will be easy for me to move the object from one place to another place. So I want to copy this. Now I'll go for move option. Select move option with a copy. I want to select C as the point. I want to place on the 60-degree line. Means I just copied the same image onto the 60-degree line. Now I'll go for rotate. Rotate that. Taking this as the fixed point and this is the moving point I want to place on the line. So now once you've done this, the old one I can remove off. So the line lamina has been inclined for 60 degree. So you can show the angle. So the edge on which is resting is AC. So that is been inclined to VP at 60 degrees. I want to define that A, B and C. So once you've done this, the same thing has to be projected onto the front view. So I'm going to take the line from here. So this is the line which is having B dash and AC is exactly on the XY line. So now I want to start from A point. So point A, which is on the XY line, I want to project onto A. B, it is in the second line, I want to project onto B. And C is in the again XY line, I want to project onto XY line. So I want to name that points. So this is nothing but A dash and this is B dash and this one is C dash. Now take line option. From A I want to join to B, from B I want to join to C and C to A. So now these three are the edges of the lamina, so that I want to make as 0.5 mm thick. So now you can see that what is the condition they asked. It has to rest on HP, so it is resting on HP now, and one of its edges. So CA is the edge on which is resting. So that I have taken as initially on the left hand side. So this is how we are going to solve the problems in a stage by stage method. So next problems we will see in the next video.